Samujjal Bhattacharya is the advisor of the All Assam Student Union. Also with us today is the Chief Managing Editor of News Live, Zarir Hussain, who's been broadcasting on this story for the last 24 hours. Sheshadri Chari is convener of the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP. He is closely associated with the Northeast. RSN Singh has been formerly with the RAW. And Kirip Chaliha is a senior leader and former member of Parliament of the Congress Party. Thank you very much, Mr. Chaliha, and to all the others. Gaurav Gogoi should be joining us in about 10 minutes. Zarir, was this avoidable or not? Today, all through the day, nobody is taking responsibility. Was this avoidable or not? Because the question is in a different context. The question is in a specific context, which Mr. Sheshadri Chari should have to answer later, that if there would have been information of a terrorist attack in Mumbai to be carried out by a terror group which would have been named, even the possible likely victims would have been targeted, then the government would have had to do everything to stop that incident from happening. In Assam, a similar situation, you know which terror group is there, you know who the likely victims are, you have the information, and yet nothing was done. Is that right, Zarir?
Absolutely. This is not the first instance where responsibility has never been accepted or never been acknowledged. In fact, we understand that the Intelligence Bureau intercepted some mobile communications from one of the NDFA leaders at 12:40 yesterday, and that message was communicated to the state agencies around 2 in the afternoon yesterday, and the whole massacre took place around 5. It started around 5, so full 3 hours. So this speaks volumes about the state of affairs in Assam. So this is, as I said, this is not the first instance. The Assam DGP, the police chief, has gone on record at least a week back that starting from Christmas Day, that is the December 25th, until Republic Day, the NDFB, this Sangbijit faction will carry out bloodshed in Assam. He has gone on record saying that they are planning large-scale massacre. But the moot point is, even after all these intelligence inputs, why did the agencies, why is the security establishment set up failed to prevent this barbaric massacre? That is the main question. And
Yes. No, please continue, Zarir. The camera moved away, but please continue.
Yeah, and the most surprising, shocking thing, as you have shown rightly on that, the picture of Jitesh Khosla, the chief secretary, the topmost bureaucrat, he said, he was at the Kaziranga National Park on an elephant safari. That also speaks volume. It is outrageous, it's shameless act, because the top bureaucrat of the state, the incident happened last night, and at that point in time, we had reported the whole night till midnight that more than 50 people have died. And this morning, that gentleman has the audacity to go for an elephant ride in full public view with television crews filming him. Is this not outrageous? So, and the chief minister was point blank asked by journalists, and he simply brushed aside, saying that, okay, this is not acceptable. But the point is, has anybody been made accountable? Has had rolled? These are the moot questions. On and off, in this year, this is the second biggest massacre. But what? Have we heard anybody been suspended or action been taken? No. Couple of transfers, that is it. So this is shocking, and as you rightly said, there is no end to this, and you are putting on the scroll 72 killed. Please correct it. It is 75, because 3 more dead bodies have just been recovered in Kokrajhar. And for your information, these 3 are Bodos. That means retaliatory attacks have already taken place. A lot of Adivasis have started retaliatory attacks on Bodos, and the death toll is 75, and 3 more Bodos bodies have been just recovered in Kokrajhar district, and we are getting reports that lot of Bodo houses were set ablaze. So you will see this vicious cycle of violence continuing, because as as night sets in, there will be more violence. And we have seen visuals coming in from my reporters that the people who are sheltered in relief camps, not in relief camps, they are under open sky, taking shelter in school verandas with no food, with no warm clothing. They have just run away from their homes. There's massive exodus. Thousands of people have fled in panic, but there is no security. And the Director General of Police has gone on record few hours back saying that the massacre took place because there are no police stations in and around that area, and police were not able to reach those places. These are stark realities, Arnab. These are stark realities from the ground. We have about 20 reporters from the field reporting to us, giving us minute-by-minute account. And as I speak to you, I am getting calls, I am getting SMSs that there has been firing, there has been incidents of house burning. These are coming in as I speak to you at this point in time, Arnab.
Well, I mean, I just want to put it in a as clear and direct a way. And by the way, Zarir, I must thank you for that very incisive and exhaustive, description that you've given out here, right on top of the Newshour tonight of the situation there in Assam. This description that Zarir Hussain has given should reach the hearts of the people who rule in Delhi, because Sheshadri Chari, you can't today, where is the joint session of Parliament on what has happened in Assam? Why is there not a sense of trepidation at what's happened in Assam? You have ethnic conflict, you have a terrorist massacre, right? And you have a refugee situation. All three are happening together, and you have a completely incompetent government, an incompetent state administration. There isn't even 1 minute of mourning, leave alone any realization that we are dealing with a serious humanitarian situation in the Northeast. Is the Northeast just not a priority anymore, Sheshadri Chari, for as much for your government as for previous Congress governments?
Arnab, it is very easy to say that the central government has done nothing. But before you start blaming the central government, you should realize the gravity of the situation. Central government has had information on.
Well, I think one second. I think I just lost the line there with Sheshadri Chari, who was just beginning to describe why we should not blame the central government. Is it possible to let the central government off the hook on this one? RSN Singh, let me ask you, is it purely a state government issue? RSN Singh.
No, not at all. You must remember that Northeast shares only 2% of its boundary with the rest of India. So it is a very, very tenuous link, and just, if I may say so, just carry out an exercise. See how many escapees are here from Northeast. I am talking about the official DOM. You see it in RNW, IB, or any of these NTR, or any of these organizations, or ITBP. You will find mostly escapees from Northeast. So this is, I mean, can you imagine police officers paying hafta to the Naga insurgents? So you have not reclaimed these areas, and even if you have reclaimed it, it is a very tenuous kind of a reclamation. So therefore, you are asking for such a situation to develop. With so many escapees and with this kind of an attitude, I don't say.
What do you mean escapees? Sorry, I don't mean. What do you mean escapees? I don't understand your terminology there.
Escapees, people who belong to the Northeast cadre, they detest being, belonging to that cadre, and bend all rule books, use all leverages to be posted to Delhi in various central intelligence and other organizations. So you can carry out an exercise. And who all are there? Why don't you, ask all these agencies to give you a list as to how many of
what
these
impact does that have on this situation? No, what relevance does that have in the context of the ongoing terrorist situation in Assam and in other states of the Northeast?
The impact is that when you have people absenting themselves, or not absenting themselves, absconding their sense of duty, then you will have all the inefficient guys there. handling the situation, and that is what is happening in Northeast.
Okay, so that's one point. No, that's one point. It can't be all. No, what's it? It's one point, RSN Singh. It can't be the entire point. It's a valid point. You are saying that the good intelligence officers don't want to be in the Northeast. Now I have Sheshadri Chari back.
No.
My question to him was, no, 1 second. RSN Singh, please, let's not make it an entire issue about the way the intelligence apparatus is structured or not structured. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, Mr. Singh. Mr. Singh, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. My question to Sheshadri Chari is, serious sense of long-term commitment is not there vis-a-vis the Northeast when it comes to successive central governments. Why do you disagree with that?
No, I totally disagree with you as far as the present government is concerned. There are certain things that I am not privy to tell you on a television as of now. But I can tell you that we have appointed one of the senior most IB officers to look after the entire Northeast situation. And on the basis of the inputs that that person has given to the National Security Advisor and to the Home Minister, we have alerted not only the rest of India but all the state governments in the Northeast. This alert has gone long back. Some of the state governments have taken notice of this and they have effectively blocked some of the operations. But very unfortunately, more than the state governments, the terrorist organizations have got counter-intelligence on the state of affairs, especially in Assam. These terrorist organizations know of the fact that there is a political ramifications going on within the Assam cabinet. They know that there is a move to weaken the chief minister. They also know of when the chief secretary is going on leave. They also know of the lack of preparedness on the part of the Assam government. All these things have been reported. And on the basis of this...
So you are saying the terrorist groups are smarter than you? No, 1 second. So what you are saying is that the terrorist groups are smarter than you?
Absolutely.
And you are... No, so it's a big admission. Terrorist groups are smarter than you, and B, there has been politics. There is politics over it. So essentially you would admit you have failed. What is the use of all your intelligence, sir, if you can't implement anything on the ground?
No, it is not the central government. Arnab Goswami, listen to me first. I am not talking of the central government. I am talking of the state government here.
So if the state government fails... No, Mr. Sheshadri Chari, my counter question to you is, if the state government fails, which you know, if they lack the apparatus, which you know, if there is politics on the ground, which you know, then the intelligence which you are providing is ineffective, then why don't you go there and take over the situation? Take over the situation, be more proactive. Why complain now that the intelligence apparatus was not used?
We cannot. Arnab Goswami, you should know how the government functions and how the intelligence...
I am very well aware of how the government functions, but you know how serious the situation is.
Areas.
You know how serious the situation is.
The central government cannot go to 200 areas in this country. It is absolutely on the radar of the state governments. It is a total and abject failure of the state government.
Then you be direct with me. Then you be direct with me, Sheshadri Chari. You tell me and I will ask Kirip Chaliha to respond.
Yes, I am being very direct with you.
No, I'll get Kirip Chaliha to respond. 1 second.
Ask all those people, ask Arnab Goswami, ask all those people who have been talking to the central government, not only this government, the earlier government also, about human rights violations by the police and the army. Ask those people who have been demanding removal of armed forces separate powers. Ask those people why are they silent now and today? It is a cumulative effect of all these things.
Mr. Chari, I began the Newshour by saying, so I repeat, maybe you didn't hear me. I began the Newshour by saying there is a chatterati and a chattering class in Lutyens, Delhi that will even defend Pakistan but have no time to talk about the problems in the Northeast. So I will certainly ask that question without trepidation, and that chatterati has no time for the Northeast. My question is to Kirip Chaliha. Kirip Chaliha, you're a senior Congress leader. You hear Sheshadri Chari there. Sheshadri Chari says there's politics and political reasons why you can't tackle this problem. The same kind of politics perhaps why people like Hiteshwar Saikia from your party in the past, in the 90s, stood up on the floor of the Assam Assembly and says there is not a single Bangladeshi in Assam. Today the problems that are there in Assam are as much a result of illegal infiltration from Bangladesh as anything else. today, will you admit that Sheshadri Chari is right, that for political reasons, the Congress government in Assam is ineffective vis-a-vis the multiple terror groups that operate within your own state?
Arnab, I think this is the umpteenth number of time I'm again coming to Times Now on the issue of ethnic violence. You know, these violences occur quite frequently, and people like us get the opportunity of speaking things in the television, national television channel, and also your channel. Unfortunately, in the discussions, we find, as usual, a total lack of knowledge about the ground situation in the Northeast. They hardly analyze the problems. They pass very, very casual remarks, I'd say, light remarks. Some go for blame games. Some go for their own short-sighted assessments. Unfortunately, as you said, these do not solve our problem. My considered view is the insurgency, so-called insurgency that is among the Bodo militants. The fundamental point is it's a very small group of people according to the police statement. The DGP himself said that Sangbijit group, that is the group who is being held responsible for the massacre today, comprises only about 200 odd militants. Now my simple question is, these people have been committing murders, massacres after massacres. Why have they not been apprehended?
It's your government.
I'm not excusing
It's a Congress government. You should ask Tarun Gogoi.
I am saying I'm not excusing myself or my government for that. But the point is, if people like, I would not like to join issues with Mr. Sheshadri Chari also.
No, please do.
I know he's a good friend of mine and he's a very sincere man. But let me tell you, yes, there is definitely lack of political will. There is definitely lack of policy. There is an absence of policy, a policy failure, a police failure, an administrative failure, and also a failure of understanding. And we have been victims. And the fact is, it's not a question of Assam or Northeast. The fact is, there are only ordinary poor Adivasis, whose children and whose women and whose helpless people are being killed. Does that disturb any of us?
Well, it surely disturbs a lot of us. Mr. Chaliha, why would you say it doesn't disturb? If it were not something to disturb us, why would we spend time talking about it on this channel? It certainly disturbs us.
Arnab, this has been going on. This has been going on repeatedly. We come for discussions, we make noises, but there has not been any tangible decisions in this matter.
Who has to take the decision to do the crackdown?
We have to solve this problem.
If you say, I'll say primarily even my own state government. Even your own state government?
Yes, primarily my own state government. I would say, yes, the paramilitary forces. I would say the army. How come 200 odd people go on killing people after people like this? Once they will go after the minorities, now they will go after the Adivasis. And let me tell you, there is total lack of security in the entire area. And there are some people who politicize. Kindly ask some people who took the support of the NDFBS in the last parliament election.
Name them.
Me, who was a Congress candidate in that area.
Name them. Who took the support of the terrorists? Let's name them.
Quite obvious. See.
No, name them. I want you to name them on national television. Name them. We need to know who.
Everybody in Assam knows who supported, which party NDFBS supported in the last election. But I don't want to comment on that.
Why don't you want to comment on it? Reveal the names of people who take the support of terrorists to win elections.
See, that has been going on for quite some time. Everybody knows it, Arnab. Even you know it. Why don't you name it? Everybody knows it, Assam. I'm not going to that. I am saying we lack the political will to fight militants. We lionize them. We call them extremists or insurgents. They are dacoits. They are people who has got no understanding. They are simple extortionists who are surviving on human blood by selling human blood and collecting money. There should be.
Sir, Mr. Chaliha.
When I say zero tolerance, zero tolerance.
Well, okay, Mr. Chaliha, zero tolerance is fine. Fantastic. Zero tolerance is fine. You tell me today, have people not taken the support of the ULFA to win elections in Assam? Have people not taken the support of Bodo terrorists to win elections in Assam?
Yes.
Do the Karbi terrorists not support certain political groups in Assam? And today I ask you, for God's sake,
I agree with you.
You agree with me, then I'm asking you today, then it's become a situation of political convenience. You realize, Sheshadri Chari, how serious the situation is. Whatever the problems of the northeastern part of India are today, are because...
Unfortunately, Arnab, when we play with fire, this fire will burn you as well, me as well, burn everybody. That is what is happening now. And I don't want to be apologetic about it. I don't want to give excuses. Because when you give excuse, you accuse yourself. I believe in that. And I'm very unhappy. That's why there is outburst.
Well, I'm sure you are, but you're from the Congress party and the Chief Minister is responsible to a certain extent. I'd like to get Samujjal Bhattacharya.
The political class.
I'd like to get some, no, not the entire political class. Let's name and shame those politicians who do that. Samujjal Bhattacharya, is it enough to blame the centre alone? Or have politicians in the northeast also played footsie with terrorist groups in the past?
Yeah, I'd like to submit 3 points. Number one, we are condemning the barbaric killing by the NDFBS group. They have killed the children, women and innocent people. We are condemning that. We cannot support this type of barbaric killing. Number two, the Assam government, the Chief Minister Gaurav Gogoi led Assam government had the information that this incident will occur. They had the intelligence input, but the Assam government had failed miserably to protect the life and property of the innocent people. Assam government had the information, but they had failed miserably. I would like to repeat that Assam Chief Minister Gaurav Gogoi had failed miserably to prevent this violence. Number three, it is squarely the responsibility of the Assam government to prevent this violence. Now there is no security of the life and people of Assam, and the Assam government has no existence. There is no existence of the Assam government. Number three, what is the policy of the central government towards Assam and northeastern region? If it happens in Delhi, UP or Gujarat, what would have been the policy of the central government? And what is the short-term and long-term policy of the central government? There is no long-term policy towards the Assam and northeastern region. What is the long-term strategy of the central government towards solution of this insurgency problem? Is there any policy to solve this Assam's insurgency problem, Nagaland insurgency problem, Manipur insurgency problem? Is there any long-term strategy on the part of the government? Or always there will be a piecemeal solution, short-term solution. We cannot accept this type of strategy on the part of the government.
Both.
Yes,
let's debate both.
Situation.
No, let's debate both.
Yeah.
Let's debate both, Samujjal Bhattacharya.
Yes,
no, 1 second. This is a fantastic opportunity.
Exactly.
This is an opportunity. Yeah. Let's debate both. Let us ask Sheshadri Chari whether they have a long-term solution. Because he says, don't be unfair, we do.
May I come in here, please?
No, 1 second. No, 1 minute, Mr. RSN. And let's ask Gaurav Gogoi about how many times the state government of Assam will fail. You had all the information. There was a warning from this specific group about retaliatory attacks, Gaurav Gogoi, but the Chief Minister, your father, at a press conference yesterday brushed them aside saying, I don't care about such things. Is this any response? I don't care about such things. You know the information existed.
Arnab, what happened last night when so many innocent children have been lost their lives? I have seen pictures where women were cradling their babies as they've been shot by these terrorist groups. What has happened last night is the most inhumane, most mindless
Mr. Gogoi, we needed, no, it's inhumane. We don't need a reaffirmation of that.
Please let me continue. No. Please let me continue.
I'm asking you about your inaction. Everybody on the panel, Zarir Hussain, Samujjal Bhattacharya, is asking you about your inaction.
The central government has condemned it. Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi has
condemnations mean nothing. Condemnations, you can throw condemnations. Condemnations don't help.
Has condemned it.
Condemnations don't help. Are you in power to condemn?
Right now?
No, are you in power to condemn? Is this the job of a state government to condemn?
Bring back law and order. Additional paramilitary forces have been rushed in. Army has been rushed in. Police have been rushed in.
Don't tell me who has been rushed in. Mr. Gogoi, what are you talking about?
I tell you what is required.
What are you talking about? People have been rushed in.
So, terrorist groups. These terrorist groups, they come in, they fire upon civilians in Assam indiscriminately.
Do you think I don't know that?
Back to the hills of Arunachal Pradesh. They retreat back to the hills of Arnab.
You think I don't know that? You're teaching me?
Go back to the bases in Myanmar to get their supplies replenished. Then why don't we have a national counter-terrorism strategy?
Oh my God, that's so utterly disgraceful.
Center in this government. We need to have a strategy. Our state government needs to work with its neighboring states. Needs to be working in tandem with the central government.
Mr. Gogoi, may I please?
Do you know, is Assam the only state which is affected by violence? No. It's
Sheshadri Chari.
Nagaland,
Okay, have you finished your speech?
Jammu Kashmir, left-wing extremist areas.
Have you finished? Gaurav, please stop. Gaurav, please stop for a minute. Please stop. Hesitate.
We need a national
Please stop.
counter-terrorism strategy.
Okay, now 1 minute. First of all, Gaurav Gogoi, I'm telling you, on the Newshour, we have a rule. Specific questions, specific answers. Did I ask you about the need to have a counter-terrorism strategy? No. Was that the question, Zarir, that I put to him? Zarir, was that the question I put at Gaurav Gogoi? No.
Only your questions happen.
No, of course. Yes, on my show, you have to answer my questions. You can't answer your own questions. My question was whether you could have prevented the attack.
You're the master.
My question is whether you could have prevented the attack, right, Gaurav? The question is the Congress government in Assam, even Kirip Chaliha is on the program today. Even he is blaming you. The Congress government was in a position to prevent the attack, but it failed to do so. There were intelligence inputs about retaliatory attacks by Bodo terrorists. If you had the inputs, why didn't you act? That's the question, right, Gaurav?
I agree with you. I agree with you that they are lapses on the part of the state government. Why in these remote areas
lapses? You call this a lapse?
For the police
75 people die. All you can do is call it a lapse.
I agree with you. But I also want to ask that why can't we arrest those militants now that they've retreated back into the hills of Arunachal Pradesh? Now how do we arrest them? We need the efforts of our neighboring state governments and we need the efforts of our central government to apprehend those who are behind it.
You know something, I think Sheshadri Chari can respond to you better. Sheshadri Chari. Zarir Hussain, I feel Gaurav Gogoi representing the Congress. Yes, Sheshadri Chari.
This issue has been brought to the central government's table time and again. And even the UPA government, the earlier UPA government was seized of these issues. At that time also, there was a meeting and there was a Northeast Council meeting also, and some of the top intelligence officers from the Northeast were called together, and I'm privy to certain information. They had all suggested that the militant groups have the support of certain political factions. Please carefully listen to my words. There are political factions within the states in the Northeast, and there are militant groups who support. As somebody very rightly pointed out, there are some groups are 200 men and some groups have got, I think even this Bodoland group has more than 1,500 people, that's all. But the issue is, if the central government decides to take a very strong action today, I can recommend that we dismiss the state government of Assam.
Oh, yes.
We dismiss
tomorrow. Why? Why would you think that's important? Are
they ready to face the consequences?
Why would you say the need is there to dismiss? If you want to take tough action, may I ask you a counter question, Sheshadri Chari, since you are leading on to something. Why are you saying if you need to take tough action, first the Tarun Gogoi government will have to go? Why are you saying that? Then we'll get Gaurav Gogoi to respond. Why are you saying that?
That is because the Tarun Gogoi government will not allow the central government to take certain actions in their state.
Why? Why, Sheshadri Chari?
They will not.
Why won't they?
Because they will make it a political issue.
Why will they make it a political issue? Why?
There is a serious political problem going on in Assam. Arnab, don't forget, there is a serious political problem going on in Assam.
Unsubstantiated facts.
No, what unsubstantiated facts? You first. Well, what's unsubstantiated about those facts? You know, he's hinting at something. He's hinting at something.
You have. No.
I
completely disagree.
Arnab, can I come in?
No. What's it? Kirip Chaliha, please respond to Sheshadri Chari.
Would you let me?
Yes, Kirip Chaliha, please.
Let me say.
Yeah. Now, I think I'll have to be a little blunt. You know, I have been very restrained, and I was not answering to Sheshadri ji for quite some time. I mean, the kind of allusions that he's making, and the astoundingly
foolish, I'll say, using a very light word, to say that to control 200 odd extremist massacres, criminals, you need to dismiss the government, impose presidential, this kind of attitude, this kind of strategy. God save the king, God save Assam.
It's not so
but let me tell
simple.
you, if
No, it is not the question of just 200 people. It is not the question of 200 people.
I'm talking about this 200.
It is a much serious trouble. There are more than 18. There are more than 18 terrorist organizations in Assam.
Allow me to finish.
There are more than 18 terrorist organizations in Assam. Can the state government guarantee that they will take action in the next 48 hours? Can the state government guarantee that they will take action within the next 48 hours?
Listen, 200 people has been taking...
I don't have to listen to you. You listen to me. You answer my question.
These are facts.
You answer my question. What is the state government's plan to take action? Does the state government have a plan to take any action? Does the state government have any plan to take any action? What is the state government's plan?
Can I respond?
They are talking about lapses?
Can I respond?
They are talking about lapses?
Can I respond?
The chief secretary has gone on a leave. The chief minister is not issuing a statement.
Can I answer you now?
What is the state government's plan? Please tell me.
You can answer.